all of it makes sense. Remember how I told y'all that us and nature are connected? We're all connected. This is what I mean by that. So actually listen to what I'm about to say. The moon cycles every 28 days. And if you pay attention, when a woman is pregnant, they only count her pregnancy every 28 days. And they count by 4 weeks. 4 weeks in this month, 4 weeks in that month. And that's why when you count the weeks, it go by 7, 14, 21, 28. And the reason why I say we actually have 13 months is because if we have 13 months instead of 12, each month will have 28 days. So not only do the moon have a 28-day cycle, but don't us women have a 28-day cycle when it comes to our period? Not only that, God calls the moon a her. So the moon itself is represented as a female. So you got the women's menstrual cycle that's every 28 days, just like the moon cycle is every 28 days. So the moon is represented as a she, and it has a 28-day cycle, just like us, females, we have a 28-day cycle. Keep up, I'm trying to show you how we connected to nature. The only month that's actually truthful that we go by is February. That's the only month that actually has 28 days. All those other months, if all those months go to 28 days instead, it will make an extra month that will also have 28 days. So we will have 13 months that all have 28 days, which is actually for the missing month that we are supposed to have. April 1st, which is April Fools, is symbolic to them fooling you into thinking that January 1st is the actual new year. But like I told y'all, we are connected to nature. Nature shows us that the real new year is in spring. Nature shows us that the real new year is when the earth starts to come alive again. The trees, the grass, and the flowers begin to blossom and grow back. Our energy is connected to nature. Our energy actually begins to shift with nature also. The new year is actually based off the seasons. And spring is the new season. January is not the new year. This is all some fake stuff that's going on, and they got y'all programmed. Like for real, how could January be the new year and it ain't representing no change? No new life, no growth. We are connected to nature. No matter what y'all try to lie about, what lies they put into y'all, or what y'all don't want to believe in, no matter what you want to believe in, we connected to nature regardless of what y'all say. God created us, God created nature. We are supposed to align with each other. 13 months instead of 12 will be exactly 28 days in each month. The first will always be a Monday, and the 28th will always be a Sunday. Every month will have exactly 4 weeks, and we will properly align ourselves with the moon cycle. Moon cycle, 28 days. Menstrual cycle, 28 days. Days of the month, 28 days. September came from an old Roman word called septem, meaning 7, which was originally the 7th month. October came from the Latin and Greek word oct, meaning 8, which was originally the 8th month. November came from the Latin word novem, meaning 9, which was originally the 9th month. December came from the Latin word decem, meaning 10, which was originally the 10th month. So September is actually the 7th month. October is actually the 8th month. Why do you think they call it an octopus an octopus? Oct stands for 8. An octopus has 8 tentacles. They call it an octopus for a reason, because it stands for 8 at the beginning. November is really the 9th month, and December is actually the 10th month. So for us to call September the 9th month, October the 10th month, and so on, that's a bold-faced lie, because it's not true. What I'm trying to tell y'all is at the end of the day, nature tells us the real time. And God made us the way we are and made nature the way it is for a reason. And we supposed to properly align with nature. Y'all have to realize we didn't have clocks and stuff back then. We followed nature. Nature told us the time. And until this day, nature tells us the time. God made us the way we are for a reason, the same way he made nature the way it is for a reason. So like I always said, Romans 3 and 4, let God be the truth and every man a liar.
Quick thought. January 1st is coming, and everybody's getting ready to celebrate a new year. Only thing is, that's not a new year. The calendar was changed from a Julian calendar, which sets the new year March 25th, to a Gregorian calendar that's now set at January 1st. The problem with that is, there's nothing new about January 1st. The mark of the new season starts with new things budding, where you see new life forming. In spring, wintertime, nothing's changed in January. It's still dead. Nothing's changed. Nothing's formulating, right? So the beginning of a new year marks when things begin anew. The mindset, everything that was dead come alive again. So the beginning of a new year is March, at the end of March, beginning of April. That's where we get the April Fools from, because everybody thinks it's January 1st.
They lied to you. New Year's Day is false.
In a couple days' time, everyone is going to be mindlessly celebrating New Year's. However, there is a massive issue with this. New Year's isn't actually on January 1st. In fact, every ancient calendar since the beginning of time all ran off the celestial calendar, which is actually a 13th month cycle. God implanted this wisdom on the turtle shell. Every single turtle shell has 28 sections on the outside and 13 sections on the inside. This represents our lunar calendar, and this is the calendar that all of our ancestors used. So there are 28 days per lunar cycle and 13 cycles per year, which actually makes April 1st New Year's Day. And it is no coincidence that they call this April Fool's Day, because you have all been played for fools. Now, going back to the turtle shell, this would represent 364 days plus 1 day of rest. The sun, the moon, and the stars are all one big calendar. This is why every 365 days, the constellations align in the exact same spot since the beginning of time. Which, by the way, is impossible if we're doing this, just another lie they fed you. Now, women that are in tune with the divine feminine that don't take birth control are always in tune with the lunar cycles as far as their menstrual cycles are concerned. Our predecessors have subtracted 1 month out of the year to sever our connection with the sun, the moon, and the stars. But I have not been fooled, and neither should you. Peace and love.
Was installed by the Vatican, okay? The gentleman you see behind me is Pope Gregory, all right? He's responsible for what's referred to as the Gregorian calendar, okay? It's named after Pope Gregory. The calendar that we used prior to the Gregorian calendar was the Julian calendar. All of these holidays or so-called holy days are made up. They are fictitious. It's all a fallacy for their agenda, okay? This was done because they wanted to fit Easter in the calendar, all right? So they made alterations. We're actually missing about 10 days off the calendar to be exact. The months are in the language Latin, okay? I'm going to basically start from 7, okay? Septem would be 7, okay? And obviously they changed it now to September being the 9th month. Octo, we know that means 8, just like an octopus. That's actually supposed to be the 8th month. It's not the 10th month. Then they got Novum, and then they got Decim, and then they got 11 and 12. We see that. It's all false, okay? This is why they also came up with April Fools. April Fools is basically to say, hey, you guys been fooled, in reference to the calendar, all right? So all you guys making your New Year's resolutions and actually saying Happy New Year, it's false, all right? Our actual New Year starts in April, all right? All of this whole thing is a fallacy. And this is why it's time to wake up and realize that anything you've been told from ancient times were from people who didn't like us and whose objective was to subjugate us, all right? Peace and love to everyone. New Year does not